So we were looking at the third verse, Tejaha. Tejaha is brilliance. Now we can see that, whenever we are following the Vaidika Dharma, we can see that brilliance in the eyes, in the face, the Patshala boys, the priests, and the jnanis, that is the Tejas. Then Kshama. Kshama is Kshanti. Kshanti means accommodative nature. No? Titiksha. That is, can I accommodate situations and people in my life without immediate retaliation? That is called Kshama. So Swamiji will say, let us have the two-step response. One-step response in life will be immediately reacting, retaliation, But two-step is to give a pause and to understand that that person's situation is going through some misfortune. So let me understand there is a background. Why is he talking like this? So this involves a lot of compassion and it's called the two-step response. Then we have Dhritihi. Dhritihi is determination and commitment, determination, fortitude, willpower in pursuing anything in life. Then Shaucham, we have seen this earlier. Shaucham is purity. So purity at the internal purity is at the thought level, and external purity is purity of the surroundings. And then we have Adroha. Now, Droha, is cheating, being a traitor. So Adroha is to be free from, wanting to cheat anybody. So this is really ahimsa at the thought level. Adroha. Then na ati manita. Na ati manita is freedom from pride and to be very humble. So that is na ati manita. So here we can see all these 26 values here in the slide. Daivi Sampat is fearlessness, purity, Swadhyaya, Dhanam, sense control, worship of God, austerity, straightforwardness, non-violence, truthfulness, renunciation, calmness, patience, absence of slander, greed, gentleness, modesty, steadfastness, and absence of restlessness and strength. So quite a list here. Then we have the Asuri Sampat. Now the fourth shloka onwards, we have the Asuri Sampat. Now who are the Asuras? Now Asuras are not those people with canine teeth, and looking like a monster. But the word Asura means Asushu Ramante iti Asuraha. Asushu means the senses. So those who revel, who enjoy the pleasure of the body and the senses is an Asura in any yuga. So today we have modern Ravanas, Hiranyakashipus, Duryodhanas who have arrogance, anger, rudeness, ignorance, and who take, great satisfaction and pleasure in hurting others. So that is who an Asura is. So the fourth verse here describes the Asura disposition. Dambho darpobhimanascha krodhah parushyameva cha ajnanam chabhijatasya partha sampadamasurim. So pretension, arrogance, vanity, anger, and aviveka, these are the signs belonging to the Asura category. Then in the fifth verse, Krishna is comforting Arjuna and saying, but Arjuna, abhijataha asi he Pandava, sampadam daivi mashuchaha. You don't worry, Arjuna, you are born with and endowed with the daivi sampad. So Arjuna may have wondered, which category do I belong to? Am I Asura or, Devata? Says, no, you are, because you have asked for Shreyas. You have, you have so much compassion and sensitivity. You are hesitating to fight the war and you're thinking about the consequences. All this shows that he already has a Daivi Sampad. Then the 6th shloka, Krishna says that the whole humanity is divided into twofold prakritis. Daivi, that is the divinely disposed people, and the Asuri mentality, those who are materialistic and consumers. Now, from 7th onwards up to 21st, we will find the bulk of the chapter is devoted to the description of the Asuras. Yeah, and here when we studied this, we found long, beautiful compounds. How the Asuras are Alpa Buddhayaha, Ugra Karmanaha, and Atma Sambhavitaha, and so on. So here we have these three categories, broad categories of asuras. The first category is those who are Ugra Karmanaha. Ugra Karmana means they are intense haters. Now what are they saying? Jagat Anishwaram. This Jagat, world, is a result of desire. So there is no Papa, no Punyam, there is no Ishvara, there is no Swarga, Naraka. What you see, just enjoy, drink, make merry, and enjoy. So they reject Ishvara totally, and they say there is no dharma. We are not going to come back. So let us enjoy. So these are the worst offenders who today we see, they engage in wars and invasions. They become suicide bombers, and they can go to any extent to hurt others. Like the terrorists, avivekis, totally deluded, and they enjoy the sense perception, and who believe in indoctrination, who are arrogant. Yeah. Then the second type of asuras are those, they have no alam buddhihi. Alam buddhihi is they cannot say enough. So their minds are filled with greed and ambition. They want to further their undertakings, their profits, and their investments and assets at any cost. So they will compromise on the means, and they will remove any competitors and rivals on their path. And so these type of asuras, they may not be physically very violent, but they'll be involved in scams and frauds, and they are the modern day cyber criminals, and thefts. And they have no detachment, they have no desire for satsanga. And so they are all bound by the desire for endless artha and kama. No, I have achieved so much in life, so many crores of worth, property and assets, and I'm going to achieve more. So this is their, attitude. So there's land grabbing, and they are only thinking of in terms of profit. How can I get more? Dil mange more. Then we have the third type of asuras described in this chapter, who are sophisticated asuras. Means they will be belonging to affluent elite part of the society. They'll be well dressed, yeah, and even their demeanor will be very polite, yeah, and they will organize yajnas and pujas even, and they will make donations, but not for loka sangraha. It is for name, fame, power, ambition. They want to further their ambitions and power. So they appear dharmic, but they do not follow the instructions. They have no shraddha, and they only have personal ambitions to follow, like the promising politicians. The politicians have, promised all kinds of, things for the public, but only till the elections. Yeah. So these are the asuras. Different kind of asuras, and they have been described in all these shlokas very, very vividly. Now, in the 19th shloka, Krishna says, what will I do with such asuras? What is their fate? These asuras hate me in people. The people who cause harm and want to destroy. What will I do to them? Verse 19, Krishna says, Aham Kshipami. I will push them into lower embodiments of intense pain and suffering. Janmani. In every janma, they will only get lower embodiments, where the animal, non-human embodiments, they are hunted, they are attacked, and they can only exhaust their papa karmas. So they are the mudhaha. And then finally in 21st shloka, Krishna is summarizing this Asuri Sampat and says, and reduces the whole Asuri Sampat to 3 main traits: Kamaha, Krodhaha, Lobhaha. So look at that shloka. Trividham narakasyedam dvaram nashanamaatmanah कामक्रोधस्तथा लोभः तस्मादेतत्रयं त्यजेत. Trividham. There are 3 gateways to hell, Narakalokas, and that is Kamaha, Krodhaha, and Lobhaha. And we have seen how Kama is the main culprit, the binding, demanding desire. If it is not fulfilled, it will lead to Krodha. And if it is fulfilled, it will lead to Lobhaha, greed. So fulfilled desires will lead to addiction and greed, and unfulfilled result in anger. So Krishna says that beware of kama. Address the kamaha and you are fine. Then finally, in the last 2 shlokas, Krishna is praising the glory of the Shastra and says that how are we to know that what will guide me along which path? Preyo marga, Shreyo marga, Daivi Sampad, Asuri Sampad, what is to be done, what is not to be done, how will I know? And that is where the last shloka comes into the picture here. Tasmat Shastram Pramanam te karya vyavasthitau jnatva shastra vidhanoktam karma kartumiharhasi. Tasmat Shastram Pramanam te कार्य अकार्य व्यवस्थितौ ज्ञात्वा शास्त्र विधानोक्तं कर्म कर्तुम इह अर्हसि. So therefore Arjuna, the Shastras are the only pramanam, the guiding scriptures for karya and akarya, what is to be done and what is not to be done, and knowing which you can knowing which you will be guided in the life. And we see that how the Veda Purva of the Vedas guide the jivas in every stage of ashrama. What should a brahmacharya do? Sandhya Vandanam, Surya Namaskaras, service to family, society, and build a strong physique. No dharma, adharma, viveka. Then Grahastha dharmas, beautifully described. Pancha Mahayajnas, Agnihotras, prayerful living life of a contributor. Then Vanaprastha, withdrawal with upasanas and japa. And then finally, sannyasa dharmas are also mentioned as devotion to, commitment to the Jnana Shastras. So all the do's and don'ts are there. And the Vedas clearly say, Suram na pibet, mamsam na bhakshayet, do not eat meat, be a vegetarian, do not drink alcohol. So we have all this, and then do not hurt, ahimsa, then do swadhyaya, and Matra Devo Bhava, Pitra Devo Bhava, Atiti Devo Bhava, Acharya Devo Bhava. All these instructions for every stage of life is covered in the Vedas. And that is the last shloka, the Smart Shastram. So the guidance on the Preyo Marga and the Shreyo Marga for every stage